Volume 5, illustration of a detector. Interesting. If I had to compare that to a real alarm, probably those Gentex ones. Well, either another illustration or a picture. Illustration. Can't really tell what that would represent. If anything, inspiration. Oh, there's a 3077. 81. So I can't remember that little timeline I had. From 78 to at least 83, they were using the star buzzers. And then 84, they transitioned to this one, the star piezo. And then sometime between 84 and 86, they transitioned to the Murata. I think it was still, according to my timeline, in the star buzzer era. Is that a detector there? Yep, Sentinel. Actually, oh, Vanguard. Vanguard rebrand. I was thinking maybe it was MasterCard or Vanguard because of the heat detector there. MasterCard rebranded those too. Saw one once. Let's see what we got here. Ooh! Sears with light. Nice. Back on the iPad here. Okay, what's this? Looks like some 77R based thing. Yeah, I can definitely see the confidence sensor there. But what's the cover profile? Looks kind of different. Probably 76 RS. A dry eye appointment today. Went pretty well. And for those of you who've had them, they tell you to look up, down, irrelevant pictures, left and right. So I imagine if I look up, I imagine like a CD400 up there, or some other cool detector. And down, like a floor drain. Left, right, probably like a fire alarm. Or maybe a fan. Look at that. Look at that one. If I had to guess, it'd be kind of inspired by the tree. If they were inspired by anything. A 74R here. I think we've seen that one. And there's a quick set. I think we've seen that picture before, though. I think that's me, the rounds and bend server. And the smoke guard. Nice, the 800A. Or maybe the 900. There's something there. And some F900 base thing. Let's see. Or Canadian version, something. Let's see what this is. Either a Sunbeam or maybe 700 smoke guard. Let's see. 700 smoke guard. Let's see. GE there. Interesting, they're installing it vertically if that's the wall installation. Quick set. Looks like that same picture we just saw a little bit ago, but taken differently. Oops. Oh, another smoke guard. Lifesaver. Mastercraft. Intellis there. whatchamacallit. We'll go back to that in a bit. It's a cool article. Let's see what's ADT. It's probably those ADT style ones we've seen. Black & Decker, let's see, 78. Will that be that decon based one, or would that be GE one? EI Electronics. Or the one of Sears, of course. Oof, well, that one did bad. For a slurred Filtrol, that's the Dicon 200 rebrand. Guardian, I think that's the Sunbeam one. Honeywell, Lifesaver, Mastercraft, Sunbeam, Smoke Sentinel. There's a Sonic Siren, and Tellus. Cool. I was just looking at this while editing. Like the Charles Craft F900, I think that's this, even though it says Lifesaver. FB1 replaced by the FB1A, which of course we've seen and several of us have. Now, what is the SA201 and 202? I guess I'm assuming that's A201, 201, A201, 202. The Sunbeam SA2. Probably the big square one like my Austria that I used to have. Yep, 7535, I think that's the one that I mentioned. Hong Kong for Sears, all that. That's the F900 version. SA76RSA. Of course, 76RS. Filtro. Ireland, so that's probably the EI. C200B. Lifesaver, of course. That's Matchcraft up there. 377 right there. QC 78. That's the big, the West Clocks one, Study. Waterpick and the SA2. 007, huh? Let's see. 76 or maybe the hardwired, but I don't see any wires though. Let's see, 76, so that's probably still the A201. The 001 probably. A201 401. Sunbeam again. I think that's the same article we just saw. Here's Post Bulletin again. There we go. Kind of a reverse image of a GE. Look at some of these old ones. Carlton Motel, that doesn't exist anymore. Retro Home Builders, I think they might. Gimbert doesn't. Clark Home Fair doesn't. Apache Mall does, though, thankfully. Church Values exists. Still, Legoland doesn't. Nordic Shop still, and they're still using that same logo even back then. Oh, they had one at Apache Mall, but yeah, that's still going strong. And that Schmidt Goodman, yeah, they're still going. Kind of cool to see some of these old ones. Oh, here's pictures too, or floor plan. Cool. But yeah, I actually pass by. That every day when I walk. Because it's... Can we see it from here? Not really. It's on the other side of this building here. It's in the Galleria. You know, I've seen that a couple of times. Like the fire, and then a couple of times when I responded to the Wells Fargo building for the alarm. When I was editing, I noticed this. That's Heritage Hall. You saw that plenty of times because that's that area where the carpeting was replaced. So you saw that in my vlogs. That's what's that one? Vigilante, probably G700. How did they give out a dress? Basically, that's the old equivalent of doxing someone. If you're singing what I think you are, it's a little too late. A couple seasons too late. Anyway, it was Smoking Hard and Guardian. Okay. Oh, heat detectors. Oh, there we go. Well, Smoke It, Sentinel. Not sure what those two are. Newtown, of course. There we go. And look at that. Those are all available at Target. Honeywell, Captain Kelly, and even the Home Century. Oh, there's some square thing there. I think that's one of those really old Westclox units. And one of these things. Well, there's a fan. Not a smoke detector, but of course, that's what I always used to like to do in the summertime in my ads. Look for fans like that. I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe a Hunter or something. Hunter EXL, maybe. I got to see a fan. Ah! What does that say there? Some brand? Or just some distributor or something? Kwikset. Oh, here's Honeywell. Where have we seen this? I'm not sure. You might have. I can't see which version it is, so I don't really see any buttons, so probably $4.99. Bet it's not the $4.89. Westclox. You know, we've already seen that.
You want potato chips tonight, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we already saw this one of the first volumes, but we could see it again, of course. I'll tell you what brand it is. I mean, what model. CD200, maybe 200B. And posted this article and got distributed all around the country. Yeah, same thing with one. Here comes the first alert. That's a 300. Checking smoke detector, so let's check this one. Oh, it's one of those cool ones. Those, what is it? I can't remember what they are. Like Unitech or something like that. Anyway, we used to have ones like this in the hospital in Austin Medical Center, except this area here was the same color as the base. And that kind of crosshair thing there, you can see, it was like a dark blue color. They had a whole bunch of different detectors there. Like they had the Gamewell F7s and then the Gamewell Beta Alarm units. And these. A whole bunch of Teledynes and first alerts. And GE's up there. Once again, if we could only have this nowadays. There's something there. Like another SS74. This illustration might be relevant. Yep. Like probably based on a GE 201. Anyway, we're going to Honeywell's now. Tesla's again.
I gotta use the vacuum here just a minute.
CD4 200. Which was the 400? What? 76B? 768? What? I don't think it'd be 76R. Interesting. Knox Lumber. Why does that sound familiar to me? Twin Cities. So, if there was one in Burnsville, I've been there because that's where I got my Dicon 300. Is a place in Burnsville, so it could have been this. I mentioned that maybe in that Honeywell video, which is ironic because that's what we're talking about right now. Maybe I thought of mentioning that. This kind of solves it if it is, because I was wondering where that lumber store was and what it was. I thought it was Levitt's at first. That's a furniture store. Matter of fact, I think that might be where Mom and Dad got their living room set in Austin, which I think is what you saw in that one article. A little Star Tribune. Let's see. Burnsville. Yep, so this confirms it. They had Dicons, and that's where I got my 300 in my original collection. And they also had the 350, and I think they had the photoelectric model too. And there's the 200. So now, I wonder what the 400's box would have looked like. Might have the same thing, maybe? Here, let's see. Might have had a simulated beam, kind of like this. Kind of like the first alerts did. Plug in first alert, nice. Yeah. TR. That's probably supposed to be TC49. 1195 is that? And this is chronologically incorrect if you didn't see the time and where this is in the video, but yeah, I just looked. Ben has this in his document or his list, but it shows it as contractor model. See? So who knows? We all know Honeywell's kind of been weird with their detectors, like having certain models not be what they should be. Another TC89 and probably 301. So here's a lava lamp for people who like those. You saw a fan and this volume on the lava lamp too. Oh, there's a smoke signal. Yeah, 200. Fire drill button? No. Test button. The only detector I know of that has a fire drill button is the KidSafe vocal, or not vocal alert, but the KidSafe voice detector. Kid Smart. And that one that you can record your voice on. CD200A, but it's showing a TC89. Let's look for a detector. I've seen this one before, yeah. $49E. And what's that one? Is that a Canadian one? TC89C, 89E, and CD200B, huh? And then the 489, we're thinking that's actually the model that we saw in Home Time. That one with the side-mounted test button.
Top of stairs and one on each level.
That battery backup. The Smoke Alarm Fan Guy found an article about it. I wonder if it was on here. So far I haven't seen it. Redo this. Here's Post Bulletin again. Dayton's. So what's this? Oh, burglar alarm. Now where would they have been there? Like that'd be the 76 RS. Looks like the center's smaller. 8 rows. Did I talk about that in the 76R? And the 8th row, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I skipped. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, where was this? They don't say. Because they had 2 locations that I know of. One was the Apache Mall, and the other was right down here in Rochester, downtown. I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah, right here, this Rosa Parks Pavilion. That used to be Dayton's. Actually, it used to be the anchor store for the Galleria. But I think they moved out to the Apache Mall, and that opened. That's cool, another Rochester one. Yeah, I wish it said where it was. So yeah, they would have been in the mall at that point, 77. Well, already this volume is done. Thanks for watching.